people, welcome to Women Rise on Civic Space TV. My name is Madreen. I hope you're doing well. Yes, now join me, welcome our guest today in studio. She's a voice behind the microphones. Many of you have heard, her presenting. So we are really happy that she has given us this moment to come and share, of course, with you her story and her work experience with the so many things that she's involved with. I have Jackie Deweyi. She is a musician. She loves music, so she will tell us about that. She is a CEO at BAMIIZO. This is an organization, something like they focus on creating happy families. We shall also hear more about that. And she's doing a lot of things. She's a content creator. She's into leadership and community engagements. Yes, we are happy to have you, Jackie. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Madreen. I'm happy to be here.
How are you?
I'm all right.
You're happy?
To be here. Yes, I am. It's not showing. I am happy to share my story in this space.
Yes, happy to meet you finally.
Finally,
yes. We have been, trying to get Jackie, but busy schedules here and there. But we are really great that today she's here with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We really don't take this for granted.
I also don't take this for granted.
Yeah. So Jackie, to our viewers who do not know who Jackie is, how do you describe yourself?
All right. Thank you. My name is Jackie Deweyi Namataka. I am a mother, I'm a wife, and I am an interior decorator. I am an advocate, a social advocate, especially for infertility, in the infertility space, fertility advocate. And I'm an artist. I am a media personality. I've done radio for over 12 years now.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Beautiful, beautiful journey out there.
Yeah.
Yes, so you're always behind the microphone. Now today we have you into the camera.
Oh, yes.
How does it feel? How is the experience?
The experience here?
Yes.
It's interesting. I'm always the one asking the question.
And today we are really having you on the chair.
I know.
Hot seat.
Thinking, okay. Yeah. That's interesting. It's good to be on this side.
Yeah. Yes, so Jackie, tell us more about yourself, your childhood experience. Where do you grow up from and where are you from?
I am a Mugisu from Sri Lanka, but I was born and raised in Kampala. My parents are at the Bahai area. It's called Chikaya. Yeah, people call it Chisasi, but it's Chikaya. Yeah. So that's where my parents, my mother is, my father is resting in peace. He was an orthopedic technologist. My mom was a housewife. I went to, my childhood, I'll try to summarize it. I went to Oria Primary School. I went to St. Andrew's Church Bukoto Nursery School. I went to Stella Maris in Sube. I went to Taiba. And then I studied journalism.
Wow.
And childhood, is it?
I see you've grown up in Kampala.
Yes.
City girl.
Yes. Most of my time has been in Kampala.
Okay. What are some of the crazy moments you remember about your childhood?
I used to love to sing a lot around the house. And my father hated it.
Oh.
So I would be singing around the house. I loved music. And I always admired watching. I loved radio because my father was always listening to radio. And I also loved TV. I always wondered why I'm not able to touch these people on the screen. You keep watching. You're wondering why are you not able? And being young is so nice. When someone died, you think they're actually dead. You cry along and you're like, oh my God, this person is dead. This was my person on the TV. So yeah, I love that. But my parents, my father especially, he hated it, especially because I used to perform so well at subjects. And he would keep saying, this singing is the reason you're not performing well with mathematics.
Yeah.
Concentrate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's sort of the most interesting things growing up.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then your career, media personality. Tell us about that. Did you see yourself? Of course, you said you loved radio. Yes, how do you, develop this career? How do you grow into this career?
So after senior six, after Tide, and I think that's the beauty with that kind of education that we got. In a way, it's by the time you come out of high school, you've been prepared to know that you can use your skills and talents. And I think the beauty again about being young is you have a lot of confidence in yourself.
Yeah.
Maybe some of the things I did then now are maybe
You can't.
Yeah, I may not do. I will
You
not just
can't.
walk into someone's office and tell them I want to be on this show. I think I'm good.
Okay.
I can do that now. However, in my Essex back, I did.
You
I
did.
walk to a couple of radio stations, and then Pop FM, Keita Nguzu, he gave me an opportunity. I was a vacist. I didn't know country music. It's a country radio. And they told me, do you know country music? I said yes.
You said yes.
I know that everyone's parent was listening to Kenny Rogers and Dolly Parton. And I said yes, of course. There's more, but I was like, yes. They laughed and said, okay, we'll give you a chance to train. And that's how my radio career started. So, yeah. It started with Keita Nguzu saying yes to me.
Okay.
He's now he's still at Bob FM and runs Spirit FM as well. So that's how my radio career started. And that's how I started to train. I started at night, 3 a.m.
Your program?
Yes.
Wow.
Because, during day, you cannot learn during day. At 3 a.m. people are sleeping. So I think that's what they call the graveyard hours on radio. So at 3 a.m. I'd sleep in the studio, but I was so passionate. And I stayed. I would sleep. And then go home in the morning.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, so how was the first day behind the microphone?
When you come, you're so confident. You feel like I'm ready to do this. I think I had the longest radio link that day.
Okay.
You talk and you have to time yourself because I was so nervous. I think the link was 5 minutes. It was not a talk show. This is a music radio, but I spoke. I introduced the show. I started repeating myself.
Okay.
Oh Lord, I can never forget. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but my boss was proud of me.
This is good.
This is good.
Yeah. So how was the reception? People at home hearing you for the first time on microphone.
Excited. My mother was telling all the neighbors, my daughter works on radio.
Okay.
Yeah, it was exciting. It's always exciting. And I think even as you go forward, I think nothing beats your first days. Because you're not good, but you want the whole world to hear you.
To know that you're doing
you don't
something.
know what you're doing, but
Yeah.
you're happy they're tuning in. And when the callers call, I took calls until someone came and told me, now you can in the next song. It's okay.
Excitement. Yeah, so how have you
calling.
grown into this career from, the first day to where you are now?
It's been an amazing journey. I think it's taken practice. It's taken patience. It's taken passion. I have always loved it. And of course, we all know if you're in radio for the money, then. Yeah, but it takes passion. And of course, the most important thing, I think, was patience in this radio space. Because there are days when you get feedback that is so harsh. And of course, it's true. You're not doing the right thing. Maybe you're not sounding good. Maybe you're not sounding smart. And, they'll give it to you as raw as it is. So there are those bad days from the beginning. You will always have those days. The feedback will always come. It will even come from a fan. You really have to be patient. But also, you have to love what you do. To take the feedback, as tough as it sounds, to work on it, to receive it as just feedback and nothing personal. Yeah, I think that's okay.
So we have many, radio presenters. What makes you special? And how do you blend, when you're doing this yourself?
I think what makes Jackie Deweyi is I am me. I'm Jackie Deweyi. I'm authentic. I am as I am. What you see is what you get. I think from the time I have grown into radio, I left Bob FM Then I moved to Touch FM briefly. Then I moved to KFM. It was because of my raw self. Is that the word? Yeah, I was never a different person who is on the mic and a different person that you meet elsewhere. I have always been the person that tells my story as it is. I think the other thing that makes me Jackie Deweyi. What else makes me special in this industry? Yeah, I think because I've always given it to people as I am. I share the real me with the audience. My happy times, my sad times. That's what you get with me. I'll not come and tell you I'm having a great time, and I'm not. Yeah.
And when you're transitioning, you've mentioned radios you started with to KFM. Have you found yourself, moving, with your fans, people who used to listen to you at the former radio, and then they find you to the new station?
In the beginning, whenever you move from a radio to another, they move with you. It's like when I left KFM and moved to Radio 4, they also came.
Oh.
They come with you. They come with you, but also along the way you lose some.
Yeah.
And then along the way you pick new ones because of the different, the way the different radios operate and the target audience. As it changes, sometimes someone follows you because they love you, but then again they loved something about where you were. So somehow you lose them. And then here also, some people, because you found them here, they'll grow to love you. So with radio, I think audiences are most, can I say they're not loyal? But yeah, wherever you go, you'll find others. You'll find new ones.
True.
Just like online. Some will stay with you at a particular period of your life because maybe they can relate with you, and maybe when you transition to something else, they'll feel like, that's how it is. Audiences, they keep growing, they outgrow you, you get new ones.
Wow. So this journey, media personality, beautiful journey as you talk about it. What are some of, the most exciting moments, and of course the moments you felt really down when you're doing this profession?
My highlight was when I moved to KFM. The announcement, everyone was calling me. It was KFM. Yeah, that was I think my best time on radio. It was my best time. And because of the kind of brand that KFM is, it was really growth. It was growth, it was goals, it was a great thing. I was in the monitor. Okay, that's now I got used to it. I got used to doing these interviews and what, but then for the first time I was being written about and they were talking about me as a radio presenter. That was my highlight. My lowest moment on radio. My lowest moment on radio. I've had a couple of those, so I'm wondering which one is lower than the other. Which one is lower than the other? But okay, I'll tell you. A lower one, but that was hilarious. So when we used to do the K-Drive with Dave and Jackie, my co-host was called David Woodmall. So we're talking about blind people. My grandfather, rest in peace, he was blind. So every time Woodmall would talk about blind people, I'd cry on air.
Why? You would think of your...
I would just think, like everything he would say, I would just see my poor grandfather. I'm like, and there was someone, he's been in radio so long, he's called Eddie Ivan. I'm not sure where he is lately, but so the first time he ever met me was like, sorry, Jackie Deweyi, the girl that cries on radio. And that was the one time I cried.
Okay, so you only reflect, think about your grandpa. And,
every time, I think the way he was talking about these blind people, and I'm like, oh, my grandfather, he must be suffering.
Hilarious one.
It was really low on air because I was crying. But now that I look back, I'm thinking, why was I crying?
Okay, so Jackie, so what makes someone, good on the microphone, behind the microphone?
beyond the voice. Of course, by the time they give you a microphone, they trust your voice.
The voice.
If it's not yet there, they trust you will grow, because I mean, nobody comes on air all knowing. You grow. You grow into the different shows. As you transition, sometimes you're so good in the morning, then suddenly they put you on the drive in the evening. But what makes you great on the mic is, one, being flexible. I did all shows: the morning, the breakfast, the drive, the night show, weekend shows. I did every show. So of course flexibility here comes, because every time they change the clock for you, that's a different audience. The same energy you're using at 4 p.m. you will not bring between 9 p.m. and midnight. So the first time they told me, we're going to do a night show, my boss at the time is called Richard Linga. I told him no. I told him, I know you want to fire me. Look at all this energy, because I was always doing these high shows. And he laughed. He said, no, just go when you're going in as a sit-in. And I sat in and was told to do the show afterwards.
Yeah, true.
But you know, so that's the flexibility that you have to keep changing as the clock changes, but also as the times, be up to date with your audience, especially. Know what is affecting your people, because you don't do radio for yourself. You do radio. I think one of the reasons I loved radio is how happy it made me feel. So when someone is listening in, it's the same energy you expect to give back. They are listening to radio for information. They are listening, and now there's the internet. Beyond the information, they also want the vibe. They want to feel happy. They want to feel a certain way. What's going on? Are you giving them? You can become the trusted source for whatever it is. The trusted source for relationships. The trusted source, more like those that do political talk shows. They've earned that trust. So what you're giving to the audience is what matters. The energy at the time, the information, and to be relatable. Because if you're too cool, you know, especially I think happens when you're a younger presenter. When you're too cool, you're talking things that are so out of this world that your listener also is thinking,
what is she saying?
So, you know, so I think the biggest issue is to be relatable.
Okay. Oh, right. Amazing. And here we go. You're passionate about music. Yes. Maybe before you tell us more about your music career, I would love to, hear you a cappella, something like that.
Why did you do this to me now? I haven't sang in such a long time, but of course it stays in there.
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi. Okay. I think my biggest song in the Ugandan market is Yo Lady, but it's not yet Christmas.
Okay.
But Christmas is almost
it's a Christmas song, yeah.
So Yo Lady is my biggest song on the Ugandan market. Okamunabi took me beyond Uganda. It earned me a nod at the European World Peace Festival.
Wow.
So I don't know which one. Okay, I'll do Ngamidambo chajezire Yayo kamunabi Galugo sirawerewo Yayo kamunabi Wero mulai nabi Fesa tugana nabi Tugana nabi Ukamunabi. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
My
so
music
beautiful.
Don't get confused.
And so which language is your music?
I sing Lugisu.
Lugisu. Okay.
As I mentioned earlier, I am Masaba. My father is Mgisu, my mother is Mganda. I am a Mugisu. So I sing African contemporary music. I sing in Lugisu.
Only?
Not only, of course, with a blend of English, Luganda here and there, but I do mix in my
your language.
Lugisu.
Wow.
So that song that I did just now is Okamunabi, like I mentioned. It got me in the World Peace Festival. It actually went beyond my expectations because on our market, usually when you sing in other languages, it takes longer.
Yeah, true.
But it surprised me. It actually got me recognized by Masterpiece. It's a global organization. It runs in more than 36 countries. It's a grassroots peace movement. So Kamunabe is a song of hope, because it's still here. It's a song of hope. It's an inspirational song. And I wrote the song when I was at my lowest. My father died when I was in my So in my S6 vacation, I wrote the song.
So you
I
do
was
write
cleaning
your
the house.
music. Wow.
I started to write the song as I was cleaning.
Wow.
Like I said, when you're younger, there's so much potential in you that you can do so much. So I wrote the song. But then later on, when I had become a radio presenter, I went and produced this and did the song. I did the song with Swang's Avenue.
Oh.
Yeah, I did the song with Swang's Avenue. And then I released the song. And then the song, I think because of the message, that's how it took me beyond it. That song opened doors for me. So
To Masterpiece.
yeah, through Masterpiece. That's how we got Masterpiece Uganda, which I am the leader for. I lead in Uganda. So we're about Masterpiece, like I said, is grassroots, but we are about the SDGs, especially education, and education and gender equality. Yeah, it's flexible. It's really mostly about community work. Above everything, serving the community at the grassroots. I'll try to summarize it.
Okay, and like somewhere I saw you had a full album dedicated to ending hepatitis B in Uganda, and you were once, the brand ambassador for ending hepatitis B. Yes, this is also a beautiful journey. You're involved into, community work. Yes. Tell us about also this. How do you become one? And
so I was approached by Kenneth Kabagambe. He still is and is the founder of National Organization for people living with hepatitis B in Uganda. So he came and met me with his team. At the time, I didn't know what hepatitis was. I didn't even know that it was such a serious issue affecting Ugandans. So he told me, Jackie Deweyi, we listen to you. We feel like if we, and he was suffering. He has it. And he came with a couple of friends that have it. And they told me what happens when you have hepatitis B, how it's possible to prevent it by being vaccinated, and all those things about hepatitis B. Then I was like, okay, let's work. So we started to do events, we started to do social media campaigns, we did walks, we did marches, and hepatitis B became an issue where the media picked interest in other stakeholders. So as a brand ambassador of hepatitis B, I served and I was proud of what we did, because up to now, the National Organization of People Living with Hepatitis B is still here, and they're still, running with the cause. But I'm glad that the foundation we laid,
Is it because of your music, the love for music, that you're involved in serving people, community work?
I think it was that and more, yes, the musical aspect, and also the fact that I was involved in other things like the media. It helped a lot, because then we're able to use our networks to come through and help us with these awareness campaigns, and give us media space to do the interviews, to talk about the cause hepatitis, of course the music, and of course what else can I say? The fact that maybe the cause was one close to the community's heart. There are so many people, especially I realized the people in the north actually had known this so much. Until you get to a cause, sometimes you think, when they tell you, let's get vaccinated, you think, oh, this is far-fetched.
True.
Until you realize there's actually a community that is struggling with this situation. So it was something that many families had probably dealt with, that made it easy for our message to be received. It was a combination of different factors.
Okay. And so now we're going to, I know you've hosted a love show. Yes, as a love doctor.
Yes, a love relationship coach.
So, and you mentioned you're married. Yes. So we are going into this segment, family, marriage, and of course work. First of all, how do you juggle through all this? How do you balance work, family, marriage?
How do I balance family, marriage, work? I think especially at this point of my life, this question comes at a great time. Other factors held constant. I think the beauty with being an older mom that has children, when you're older, you're intentional. You're intentional about how you do things, about your parenting choices, and how you run your home. So with my work, I do have a team. I do work a lot with my husband on almost every project that I do. So in a way, we have created systems to have support with the children when we will not be available. And also most times it's if I am not available, then he is. So we've been working together like that to make it possible for either his work or my work not to stall because of the children, but also not to let the children depend on the nanny and the daycare totally.
True. Yeah.
That's how we balance
Very
it.
important. Wow, beautiful. And we have couples, a word, one word to the couples that are struggling work and then family, a lot of breakups in the families because people have failed to really balance this.
Yeah.
And as a love coach, of course, many would benefit from your experience.
That's true. I faced such a situation early this year where I took on a gig to do, of course, as a media personality, you get those jobs where you needed to do PR, communications here and there, social media here and there. And then I realized this job, this contract, I needed to let it go. It was eating into my family time. I was beginning to get home after 10, 11 on a daily. And then, that's where compromise comes in. We love the money, we need it.
Yeah.
But sometimes you also have to make choices. If it's taking a toll on your partner and your family, you need to make a choice. There's always ways you can find work that will not affect you. Especially if you start to feel like, this week my child was sick, I was not home. My child needed to get vaccinated, I was not home. And then your partner he also has to work, but he's the one running up and down. So that means you're going off the balance. So work together, but also be willing to compromise. Whenever you're not willing to compromise, it becomes impossible because you feel like this job, it's a big job. I am doing this. If I lose, no, I can't lose this. But then, what about your partner? What about your family? What is happening? How are they feeling about it? So in that greed and excitement for how big this job is or this other business is that you've added on, you might lose everything. So be willing to compromise and also always audit yourself. Self-audit. Sometimes sit back and be like, but you know what? Since I started doing this, I'm not able to do this and that. And then rethink. The way you plan for your work and say, this week they want a report from me, they expect me to have done this. When you're being accountable to your boss, do the same for your home, for your marriage. Even if you're not telling anyone and you're sitting alone and just going through, making an audit of how this month has been. Did we fight a lot because of my work? Did we do this? Yeah, it's you need to do that. You need to take the time to think about your marriage and your home and your children in that line. And also that includes your nanny. Yeah, because then if you're not putting her in your thoughts and your programs, she'll get tired. She'll be overworked. She'll become mother to your children. And before you know it, you don't even know what language your children are speaking.
Yeah, true. Yeah. And you mentioned you're an older mom. Yes. Yes. And you waited 10 years, to have these children. How is this journey? How was this journey, that experience?
First of all, waiting is so hard. Waiting on the fruit of womb is the hardest. Longest wait of anyone's life. Even if it's 1 year, they will tell you. Because sometimes I meet moms and they're like, oh my God, this child is miracle. Why? Miracle came after 1 whole year. We tried to have it for 1 year. But you see, that 1 year was too much for that person. And maybe the partner and the family. Because maybe they waited 1 month, 2 months, 2 years. And someone says it was 2 years. This child is miracle. This child is divine. You know it. But now imagine 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, another 10. And you are waiting, praying, fasting. Sometimes you don't want to pray. You're thinking maybe God
Well,
has
what is
decided not to
God
listen.
doing? Yeah.
Yeah, and then you quarrel with God. Then you go back and repent. It's a tough wait. It was so tough, and not just on me, even on my husband as well. It was really tough, and I do appreciate that he was willing to stay on this journey with me. Every time we changed the hospital, because we kept changing, we went outside the country, we came back, no results. And unfortunately, after we had our first baby, I found out as we're doing an interview like this with him, and he said, no, when we were in Joburg, the doctor told me when you're out of the room that you're not going to be able to have children. I said, but why didn't you say? He said, no, I decided to keep quiet because I didn't know how you would take it. So imagine when the doctor tells your husband you won't even have children. So harsh.
And
so I don't even know what other things he was hearing on his side. And the other thing that is harder as you're waiting is the community. This is Africa. Oh. Everyone thinks, oh, she's, and then you're in the media, so she's promiscuous, probably,
I know.
Yeah, people, they sleep around. Maybe she's had lots of abortions. Maybe she's been sleeping around. Maybe she started early. Everyone has an opinion about your character. Everyone thinks they know what went wrong. Check with your exes. Maybe you were cast by your ex. Everyone is saying things that you wouldn't think on your own to tell someone, but they're telling you to your face. And then sometimes on air you have co-hosts, and because, like I said, radio, it's about our audience. And then you have to do topics like, would you stay with a woman who does not give birth? Your husband is on the show listening. But you'll not tell your friends, let's not do this topic. Because why not? I mean, we are here for the people. That's what I said. Being on radio, you're taking everything and you do what you have to do for your audience. So many times, and sometimes these questions are also coming from the audience. My wife doesn't give birth. I want to leave her. Especially now you're doing the night show, the love show. That just happened to me. Your partner is also listening as you're taking in this caller who is justified to be cheating and probably to leave this woman. She's not having children for him. And then there's also these traditional, what do they call them? Our beliefs. When you don't have children, they'll pass you behind the door. My husband one day went for a burial. He came back, he was so broken. He told me, Jay, do you know what? Do you know that if you've not had children, they will not pass us through the main door? Apparently, they're supposed to take you by the back door. Yeah, he just mentioned, he said, no, it's not a big deal, but I was surprised. Of course, he's sharing because now he's bothered, and men are not like us. He's not going to break down and wait and what. But in his heart, he's also thinking, this could be us. So, even our traditions, they don't make it easy.
Everything around.
To community, you're a sinner. You must have done something wrong. That's why you're being punished. That's why you're probably cast. People have every waiting for a child. For me, I call it ministry. I think the Lord was taking me through this as a ministry. He was building my testimony. I don't know why he chose to build it for so long. It was a long time.
A long wait.
A long wait, yes. 10 years.
And you mentioned, you visited hospitals. What was the response from,
I have a file almost in every fertility hospital in this country. I had blocked tubes. It started with one blocked tubes. Then as the years went on, they said now both tubes. Then of course it started with a partial blockage. Now blockage, because I think it was taking so long. Then I had hormonal imbalance. Then I did have PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome. I think I picked, what I know from this is, they say our bodies are insulin resistant in a way. There's actually that drug they put us on that we usually share with people that are diabetic. So PCOS was one of those issues. I had blocked tubes. I had hormonal imbalance. Then I had a funny hormone. My prolactin was high. So towards the time when we got the baby, actually when we were giving up and beginning to accept children may not be for us, we did so many things to keep our marriage going. My husband started to travel. We started to travel with Enoch and Jackie. In a way, not like to forget, but we needed to find things that
to keep you busy, and happy.
Because we're doing the treatments and everything, but the travel came in. So prolactin, one of the last reasons I found out, your body feels like you're breastfeeding.
Mm.
So if your prolactin hormone is high from Jan to December, you cannot get pregnant because according to your entire body system, you're breastfeeding that whole year.
Oh.
So yes, so your body reads she's pregnant or she's breastfeeding. So you cannot get pregnant. And why are you getting pregnant when your body says you're breastfeeding?
Of course, yeah.
So the body is so funny. And science is good, by the way. It's God that blesses these scientists to help us. Because I know there is a big issue that I've seen in the infertility community. I have faced it myself. When you are seeking solutions from the hospital, it's like you've been fasting. Are you doubting God? Are you not believing God of miracles?
Yeah.
But I mean, that is how God works.
Yes.
Because even with science, they will tell you there are no guarantees. It's not 100%. But because you're praying, these procedures will work. Because the Lord has accepted that this is the time. So I did lots of treatments. I did lots of things. I took the herbal teas. I took everything. And I would say to anyone on this journey, it is so slow. And people usually will tell you when you meet people, just don't think about it, you'll get pregnant. How can you not think about it? You're still not pregnant.
For 10 years.
You're still not pregnant.
Yeah.
You're thinking about it. Don't think about it. You'll get pregnant. It doesn't work like that, people. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
It's not possible not to think about it. But as you're praying, as you're believing God, it's okay to work with the doctors. It's okay to do the procedures, whatever the procedure is, whatever the operation is you need to do, go ahead and do them. Yeah, so the doctors were seeing these issues, but I don't know why the different treatments were not working.
They're not working.
And I got the answers at the end. I did the laparoscopic surgery. It was a success. And my son, Pendo, was in. And then of course, I never stopped taking the different treatments given for the PCOS. But if you don't know about PCOS, if you don't get medical help, you may never have a child. Because there was where the doctor explained to me and said, if you're ovulating, sometimes all your eggs will come out at once. So then how will you? Or when they explain to you, because there's so many things in, and different doctors use different examples. It's a whole topic for another day. But I think it was my biggest issue, including the blocked tubes, including the hormonal imbalance, so many issues on one person.
Yeah. But Jackie, you mentioned all these are expensive, I'm thinking.
Yes.
to very, our women out there, someone who is not able, to do as much as this, because of financial, what other options or solutions or any advice to struggling couples and mothers?
I wish there was another solution with fertility treatment, but actually that's why I founded BAMIIZO. BAMIIZO is my initiative to help men and women struggling to conceive, especially those 30 above. At that stage of your life, you know that you're looking for help. But most importantly, what I didn't have is what I'm giving with my fertility initiative. Yes, we're building a knowledge platform. It's in the works right now to give infertility knowledge and all these things that we didn't have access to. But also beyond the infertility knowledge platform, we also have a support group. In the support group, we encourage each other, we pray together, but also we're working with different doctors. I'm still adding to the team. You can never have enough. We're working with fertility experts, counselors, to help, to fasten the journey for these people, something that I didn't have. Because had I maybe known certain things, maybe the journey wouldn't have taken as long. Because we were investing so much. I think most of my money. There are many things, many tests I did secretly. At some point, I would go without my husband. I'm like, this man will get tired. Like we were in the hospital last month. They gave you hope. You saw nothing. Then now you're going back quietly, So the financial bit, for now, is hard. But what I understood from some fertility experts, the reason these drugs are expensive is some of them are taxed, apparently. I think some are, did they say they are taxed? No, I think the drugs are brought and government was not so involved in the fertility space. So maybe now that there are more voices on this call,
true.
we pray that we can get help. And there's also another situation. There's no one on insurance that gets fertility treatment. No hospital gives it to you. So I hope as we talk more and raise our voices about infertility in Uganda, that infertility patients, men and women, will eventually be able to access tests, any service on insurance. You cannot. When it's infertility, whether it's a test, whether it's a what, you cannot get it on insurance. So even when I had insurance,
you couldn't get it.
I couldn't get it. We had to use our own money. There's no place where I know that you'll find a... Actually, that's what we're trying to do with BAMIIZO, to partner with some doctors and their fertility clinics to probably see how they can maybe, because maybe when you come in a group, to help us subsidize the tests, some tests, to help us to reduce the burden, the expenses. They cannot totally go away, but to just make it doable, because so many people are failing to have children because of the money.
Quite many,
you know, you will sell land to be able to afford IVF. You need, if especially how many of us come from families that will give you that money. Besides, people don't even believe in science. They're thinking, but are those children okay? Children
true.
come after lots of treatment.
They're not okay.
They are not. Yeah, but I mean, whatever science it is, whether you need a surrogate, whether you need to do IVF yourself to carry, go ahead and do it. But most importantly, get support. You cannot walk the journey
alone. You can't.
And so, if in your circle, you may not join our support group, but if in your circle you know someone that has been through it, they're the best. If someone who has not suffered infertility, there are things you tell them, they'll not understand. They will not understand. They'll think you're not either a believer, you're not praying enough, something is wrong with you. Because I mean, why? Children should easily come. And they'll say some hurtful things to you, but they mean well. They don't even realize they are hurting you.
And Jackie, so after the 10 years of waiting, God finally answers your prayers. How was the experience, of course?
You know, when I got pregnant, I was beginning to give up. I was beginning to tell my husband, and we had started like fighting a lot between us. We were having lots of disagreements. I was on the edge. Every small thing I'd be triggered. I'll be, you've done this. Now because I don't have children, that's why you've done this. Somehow he was also always defending himself. It's sad what our marriage was going through, yet I'm the relationship coach. But I'm human at the end of the day. I was also now, I even at some point allowed him. I told him it's okay. If you really need to have a child outside, you can go ahead and do it. Yet because I had accepted it might not happen for me. And then I said, maybe I'm going to be so selfish. And because we had done the last tests and treatments together, and he was okay, then I was like, now that hits me. So if I'm the one with the problem, and he's walked with me, he's human. Enough is enough. So then one day I walked to a pharmacy. I asked for medication. I wanted medicine for nausea. Well, I didn't think I was pregnant. Why? Because when you have hormone imbalance, these things happen. There are months when your body feels pregnant. You have all the pregnancy signs, but you're not pregnant. You're not pregnant. You're throwing up. You have all those things. You even crave. Yes. Your body can do so many things to you when you're struggling with hormone imbalance and you're not pregnant. And then because I had PCOS, you could even do 6 months without periods. So then someone will think she's pregnant. You're not. It's just your body. Yeah, and you're not pregnant. You're not having your periods. You're not pregnant. You're going through things pregnant people should experience. So I was used to that. So I walked to a clinic near home and I told the lady I needed the nausea tabs. And she looked at me and said, "Are you not pregnant?" I laughed. I told her, "No." I'm like, "What? Don't worry. I always go through these things. Just give me." Then she told me, "I know you're used to this, but I think you should do a pregnancy test." And you know, I'm done counting. Every year you're doing, every month you can do, like almost every week you've done.
Yeah.
You've done. I think if there was a room where I was storing these tests for pregnancy,
It would be a full room.
it would be full. Honestly, it would be full. So I was used to this. Anyway, I didn't take it serious, but she said, because if I give them to you and you're pregnant, but your eyes. Anyway, I was on treatment. I had just had an operation. I was like, let me try. And my husband had started annoying me, like I said. I said, let me test. If I am, I will not tell this person. So I tested. I saw 2. I said, it's not possible.
I need to try again.
Anyway, I carried the thing. I took it to her. And she said, you're pregnant. I said, no. There's something called false. She said, no, the way it looks. Then she said, you're very pregnant. I said, let's do another test. We did. I said, I'll not tell my husband. What if I'm not pregnant? So I kept quiet. I went back home. I dressed up properly. I went to look for a scan far away. They don't know me.
Yeah, true.
I told them I'm here for a scan. I want to know if I'm pregnant. I tested. I was pregnant.
Oh.
I said, if I tell my mother, she's going to tell the whole village. No. I had a mixture of emotions. I don't know if I was excited, if I was
excitement, yeah.
I said, okay, I need to tell someone. I called my best friend Judith. I heard Judith. I'm pregnant, but I'm not sure. She said, huh? I said, keep quiet. I'm not sure. I said, okay, next, my doctor. I told her. I'd seen lots of doctors, but now this doctor also. I called her. I said, Auntie Julie, I'm pregnant. She said, praise Jesus, she's a Christian and she used to pray with me a lot. She said, the Lord has done it. Hey, have you told your mom? I said, not yet. I don't know how she's going to take the news. I went and told her. Anyway, finally, that same day, my husband was the last to remember. I said, he has to know when I'm sure. So I moved. I went home to my mom. I told her. She said, call all your sisters. The whole family was broke. Then she said, Jackie says she's pregnant, but now she told my sister, you go with her to Mulago. Mulago is the only hospital that can tell me something and I'll believe. So she didn't believe all the scans I was showing.
Yeah.
She said, I'm not saying you're not pregnant, but I'm saying
we need to
confirm.
Need
to be sure. We came back and where we left her sitting when we went to Mulago is where we found her sitting. Oh. She had not moved an inch.
Oh dear.
So we told her it's true. Aye. Like what I remember is that day she said, today, what were we supposed to? She said, no, today we should eat chicken. This week you should not eat anything. You don't care. There's a lot of joy. And my poor husband, all this time he was not aware. He doesn't know. Anyway, I went back home with my happy self. I told him like at 3 a.m. I told him, I want to tell you something. Will you contain yourself? He said, what is it? At this time of the night, I gave him the result. He said, no, what?
Wow.
Yeah, so that's what I remember. It was like a movie.
Yeah.
I was not believing. I was running up and down, testing here and there, confirming, I'm pregnant. Yeah. But then I think the excitement is not excitement. You're here trying to confirm. Yeah. Now that you're sure you're pregnant, now I started to go into fear. What if I lose?
Yeah, true,
the baby?
True.
So I was in and out of hospital, and then it was a high-risk pregnancy, unfortunately. I always got threats of losing the baby. I stopped working. I stopped. I was told don't sit on border. Like, how you must make sure you hold this baby. So again, even the pregnancy was not an easy one, but I was sure when I saw my baby after theater. Even when I came out of the theater, I told my mom, the baby, because I saw him fighting to breathe. Then I told mommy, the baby, I don't know. So finally, they brought my cute boy. Yeah. Wow. And the rest is history.
Wow.
And you know how God is a God of miracles.
Indeed.
And a God of surprises.
Yeah, true.
When my firstborn Mufasa was 3 months, I got pregnant.
Wow,
now I have 2 kids that look like twins. So Mufasa and Pedro, 2 boys. Just like that.
Wow.
This time without asking God, like why? No. I was not even trying.
And then God does it.
God did it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That is really a beautiful journey, amazing journey. I mean, it teaches us don't ever give up.
No.
Yeah.
I usually tell people, when you're giving up about anything in your life, remember me. Remember my story. Remember how, no, a child is a hard thing to look for. Not even a doctor in his wisdom is sure you're going to have this child. They'll do what they can,
Yeah.
but it is only
They
the
also-
Lord that
yeah.
can give you.
Yeah.
And even when you're going to do the different treatments, they'll tell you it's not 100. So if the Lord can answer me, you will also have a child if it's what
Amen.
you're looking for.
Yeah.
Whatever it is you're praying for, it will come true. Yeah.
Wow.
That was my lesson for life. If God could do something beyond my reach, there's nothing He cannot do.
So beautiful. And then that, of course, from that story you mentioned the BAMIIZO. Yeah, you're trying to help. How are you doing this? The future, where do we see this in the future, next 5-10 years?
So BAMIIZO, actually I spoke about it in passing, that BAMIIZO is a Logiso word that means seeds, because when you're looking for a baby, you're looking for a fruit of the womb, a seed to germinate. So BAMIIZO, it's because there are many. You've sowed so many seeds and you're hoping they germinate. So that's why we say creating happy families. So we work with parents in waiting. We provide information. We, most importantly, show you where to go. Because usually when you're starting the fertility journey, one day it's not an easy thing to walk into a hospital and say, I'm trying to get pregnant or I'm looking for a baby. For men and women, and especially the men, that's why for me, I don't know, but the men in my group, in our BAMIIZO fertility support group, I know that women, for us, we know we have to do this. But it takes courage for a man to say, I need help.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that so much. But also as BAMIIZO, we do encourage couples to work together. Because if one of you is not on this, there are members in the group that are divorced because of the same thing.
Yeah, true.
We have members in our group that their partner walked and left them on this journey alone because he was tired of spending and he was not seeing results, and he walked out of a beautiful marriage. But I mean, when you're marrying your partner, when you're choosing your partner, you don't choose them with a child. Children are blessings, they're bonuses from the Lord. So you breaking up to leave a great person, yet you could have worked together and had the children. And then, you could even end up in the worst relationship, you'll have regrets, and so many things. So BAMIIZO works with you in that aspect, emotionally, showing you the doctors. We are not doctors, but we understand the journey. So we will show you, we'll make recommendations. You don't have to use them, but like I said, now that we are growing as a group, we are trying to be able to negotiate with fertility centers to at least have subsidized treatments, tests, to make it possible for our members. Because when you're one, it's harder to do. But when you're united in a group, it's easier to negotiate such offers. And that's what we are working on. And you said, where do we see BAMIIZO? I said we are working on a knowledge platform. We're building it. An online platform that anyone across the world, anywhere, will use it. But because we're Ugandans, we're going to make it as relatable as possible, because one of the hardest things on my journey, when I was searching for the different issues I was facing, I would find Muzungu content, things from out of the country, and maybe other African countries, but the Ugandan was
nowhere.
Really nowhere. So that's what inspired me to start that. And because I was coming with a media background, I knew that this is the way to do it. Give this knowledge, because we didn't have it.
We don't have it.
Why is someone telling your husband you'll not have children because you have PCOS? This is something that's here. And every time I would Google PCOS, I would see Victoria Beckham, because they usually bloggers would say, do you have PCOS? Think of Victoria Beckham. She has children and she has it. Because probably she was one star celebrity that was open about her struggles with it. And so many people across the world. But before you go through something you don't know, and maybe someone is watching this today and they just found out, and they are so scared, because when they show you the picture of what your eggs look like when you have PCOS, you're like, oh, I'm finished. A doctor told me, do you see chocolate? It's like when you break this egg, you see that brown chocolate. Like, that's like a bad egg. So even our doctors, in a way, they do not know how to be gentle with us. They don't know how to talk to our patients, and that's what we're doing with BAMIIZO. So when you come from the hospital broken, we're here. We've seen that. And
Wow.
we've not experienced every fertility problem, but members in the group are facing different issues. And that's why you find comfort, you find support, no judgment. There's nothing you're facing that the people in this group have not faced.
Yeah.
So we're hoping to build a fertility center, not to build, to have a physical center where BAMIIZO, everything will happen. Now you asked about the long-term goal for BAMIIZO. So for now, what we're able to do, what we have right now is we do have the support group happening, and it's also running on WhatsApp. So wherever the person is, they can join in and find motivation. And just to know that you're not alone, especially, it's so important because you could be the only person, the first person in your family to go through it, like I was. My mother never ever thought it's possible to wake up and someone cannot have children.
Sure.
She said, how?
How?
The doctors told me I had lots of eggs. They even had to cut my tube so that I stop. You know, my dad was a doctor now. We are 5 and they told him, if you don't stop her, this one. Now she's thinking, how can my own child not be able to? So this is happening in our families. They don't know. They love you, they pray with you, but they don't understand. And that's why you need such support systems to work with you, to find men in here, so that if you're a man, you're not thinking, how do they see me? Because the other problem we have in Africa, in our Ugandan community, it's
the
your
woman,
fault. Even your relatives are not asking about your husband, they're asking about you. You're not able to give this man children. They will advise you to cheat. Have you tried elsewhere? I'm telling you, if you're not grounded, if you don't have values and principles as a person, you will mess up. They will tell you to take you to a witch doctor, because most people associate infertility with witchcraft. They think there is a curse on you somewhere, somehow. You probably aborted and this child's tears. The curses are on you. But poor woman, you've never been pregnant. You don't even know how it feels to be pregnant.
Society has a lot to attach to.
So there are so many things, and that's what BAMIIZO is here for.
So besides the knowledge gap, covering the knowledge gap, do you also consider the mental health, psychosocial support?
Yes, that's what we're doing.
Okay.
We do a lot of that's the core is the knowledge, but that too. Because we do, like I said, we work with you. We do the counseling. Whatever questions you have, and the biggest issue is we've experienced what society can do to you. They can break you and just rip you apart. So we do work with you. We're still on the call for more counselors to join us. But we do have, at the moment we have 2, but we still are open to having more people that find it in their hearts. And people, we also have now prayer warriors that praying with us. So if you have a call to, different people are gifted with different ministries. And if you do have a call to pray for people struggling for fruit of the womb, we invite you, please join us. Yes, so we do have 1 person so far, but we are looking for more prayer warriors in that line, because, like I said, these treatments and these counselings, they go with prayer. This is the only part where God shows you that He's good. There is no other way. So we walk with you, we pray with you. I'm sure even if you're an atheist, if you're battling infertility, you will find God. You will find Him, and that is the one time you will know that there is a God.
Wow, it's really an amazing journey here with Jackie. And Jackie, away from all this, I know you do content creation, interior designing. Tell us about also these other things that you're engaging into.
So content creation mainly was started by my love for, my need to be sharing my fertility journey. Then, of course, my relationship. When I became a relationship coach was when I started doing the relationship show on radio. And then I was having lots of success stories off air when people would talk to me. Then I started to take it serious. So I started the content creation in terms of relationships. Then, of course, when my husband and I started travel with Enoch and Jackie, we were traveling. We were just looking for things that can keep our marriage going. Of course, you don't wake up and say, can we do this to make this marriage work? No. Be like, but we should travel. But of course, you know that they're making an effort to finding purpose to the marriage. So you don't get bored crying. Treatment is not working. What do we do, And in there also, the financial bit it takes a toll on your finances. If that's why you really, like you asked about the mentor. You really need. I'm grateful I had a supportive family. My mother and my husband too. His people, they stood with him, and they never ever did to me what most people go through, coming to me to ask me, why aren't you giving us to imagine? No, actually, when we did Joburg and East London, it was family that was helping us find these doctors for a solution together. So I was sharing my fertility journey with the content, but when we started to travel as Enoch and Jackie, I started to review hotels. And then I took interest in interior decorating. And then I would review them, and people would be so happy. And then my first client was a friend who had visited me. And she said, Jackie, I think you can do interior decor. I didn't take it serious because I was just reviewing, but also I was loving the decor for myself. And then she sent me my first client, who was her sister. And then after that, I started posting here and there. But I think with all my content creation and social media, it's the interior decor where I have not done so much online work. Most of my clients have come because I did for you referrals. And I was intentional because I already was building this online content for the fertility community. It's close to my heart. It's even interior is close to my heart because I discovered all these things in my 10 years.
Yeah, true.
Waiting 10 years, if you don't pick skills, keep yourself busy.
Yeah.
You will do nothing.
Yeah, true.
You will actually go into depression. I almost slipped into depression at some point. So I started to teach myself interior decorating and to always do my space nicely. Because you know, when your space is beautiful, there is a good energy around it, even when you feel low. So those are the things that kept me going, and that's how I learned to do it. And now I do Deweyi interiors as an interior decorator. I do paint.
Wow.
In that period, my husband, for him, he decided he wanted to learn about paint. So we added paint to the business. You know, our wait was so long. We learned lots of things.
Yeah.
Yeah. So apart from the skills that just come because you're in the media and you just grow good at them, like social media management, like PR and branding, these other things we learned from our need to be busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Beautiful. And as we come to the end of the conversation with you, Jackie, some of the, lessons to our young women, to pick, of course, from your experience as a mother, as a media personality, content creator, and of course, community work that you're doing, a lot that you're doing, yes. Yeah, so your experience, your lessons to the young woman.
One, always learn a skill. And also when you pick interest in something or like a hobby and you realize it's something you want to go with, study. I recently started my MBA with Roxburgh to study how to build a social enterprise. And I'm doing an MBA with Roxburgh so that I am able to serve in BAMIIZO and in the different aspects of my community work and masterpiece to do better. That's what, nobody's sending you to school, but because if you're going to serve people as a leader or in any business, you need to professionalize. Learn, because now you're working off head, I'm working with my experience, but then there's a professional way to do things and you'll give better results. If you pick a skill, if you add to yourself. So it's never too late. It's not enough what you know and your skills and your passions and hobbies. So that the things you love to watch a lot online and you realize you're interested in doing, how about you go and enroll for a course online or something and you add that value to yourself. Two, be authentic, be yourself, stay yourself. Don't try to be something you're not. If just because everybody's doing something, I know the trend right now on social media is gossip, like to give the latest gossip, who has fought with who is divorcing who, and because now that's what you're watching, you're like, this is what I want to do, but then it's not you. Don't do something that because everybody's doing it. And right now we are lucky, we are in an era of social media where it's easy to grow any skill, to become anything you wanted. If a TV or radio won't give you a job, you have a chance to become known on TikTok for that thing you believe in. So you can start slowly. Don't be like, nobody knows me. No, just start. As long as you believe in it, not because someone has numbers and they're doing that, Yeah. And Adaptability, be flexible, adapt to the changes right now. Learn social media, especially right now, where we are right now. If you're not up, look at our show, it's on YouTube.
Yeah, true.
Yes, and we are giving it all that you would give on CNN.
Yeah.
You understand? Because this is the era. So learn from other people what they're doing and take it as serious as you do. Don't do things because just there's a camera at home, let me just do this. Then tomorrow, I think I'm not interested anymore. I was just doing it because there's a free camera. But my friends now like to do this. No. Do something and be consistent and stick to it. To the married people, you matter. You matter to each other. If you're, especially, I'll speak to those struggling with infertility. If you have ever been tested in your marriage, money may not even test you as bad as infertility. Infertility will test your patience, your trust in each other. One of you could even cheat because, like I said, people are saying, have you tried elsewhere?
Yeah.
What if it's your wife? What if it's your husband? And many women in the process end up having children that are not their husbands because they were not patient. And your husband, you leave him and he has children with another person and you destroyed your own marriage. So work together, stay together, do these tests together, join these fertility support groups together so that you're tapping into the same energy. You'll stay you cannot not overcome infertility when you're working separately. You will break up.
Yeah.
And to any other person, a woman, young person, your voice matters, your story matters. Whatever your story is, do not be ashamed of it. Like I said, I took my infertility battle as ministry because when you're not having children and you're married, you're an adult, every year someone will ask you, you're not pregnant. How are the children? If they have not been children, how are the children?
Yeah.
Then what do? You start crying. So for me, I said, I'm going to own it. I'll just tell them, children haven't yet come. Wait, you're not serious. This man, we ate his things.
Yeah.
No, that I'm not serious. And then I'll tell them, actually, that's how I started to do this work. And I'll tell them, no, I've tried. The children are not coming. Then they'll say, oh, try this pasta, try this. Because now, you have not allowed those comments to beat you. You have accepted there's a problem. So whenever there's a problem, it begins by accepting there is a problem. Accept it, own it. Not that you're owning it to stay down. No, but you're finding a solution. And then in a way, it's your weapon. When people think they're going to use this to destroy you, bring you down, so you run to your pillow, cry. I cried, especially whenever I was praying to the Lord. I was asking, Lord, why do you not hear my prayer? I was trying prophet this, pastor that. Like I was everywhere. Because maybe I'm thinking, maybe in this church my prayers are not being heard. Then I also moved to my own house to pray. So you don't stop praying.
Yeah.
Don't stop praying. But your story matters. And sometimes I've realized the Lord takes you through something because He's using you to empower others.
True,
so maybe if I hadn't gone through this, there wouldn't be BAMIIZO. I wouldn't be studying at Roxburgh to serve and make it better. And now I feel like I'm a better relationship coach than I was.
True.
Because beyond my
You've
marriage,
been there.
I've been there. I've seen it all. Yeah. And I'm still here. Yeah.
So how do people join BAMIIZO, or how do we find BAMIIZO?
Okay.
If one out there is interested, yes.
BAMIIZO. So BAMIIZO is BUMIIZO, BAMIIZO, as you've heard. BAMIIZO is online. BAMIIZO is on Facebook. BAMIIZO is on LinkedIn. But usually, when you go to our Facebook page, it's the most active. You'll find the WhatsApp numbers, and then you can just drop a message, and you'll be in. But depending on how you want to come in, you want to come in to volunteer as a counselor,
yeah, true.
to volunteer as a peer counselor because you've experienced infertility and now feel like you also want to give. Please, we also welcome those peer support members. We also welcome fertility experts that are ready to work with groups. We are really looking for more people that can give us subsidized offers. There's a lady that approached me recently. She's a teacher. She's in her 40s. And she told me, I'm a teacher, I'm in my 40s. I may not have children because I will not afford. And she's a Muslim. So her husband has already found another wife that has 4 children. She said, but I was the first and I started with my husband. But now, he even puts his pictures of his children in my house. And she told me, can we start a way to raise money as a group and support each other's treatment? But then everyone will want to be the first if you come up with such an arrangement.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm just looking out for more and more possibilities of having really subsidized treatments for our members. Because every story is sad when you have
Very
it.
sad, yeah.
And you don't know how to help this person. You can't give money to all these people.
True.
These treatments are really expensive. But there are centers, fertility centers and clinics that can give us some discounts to at least allow us to be mothers and fathers to stop being parents in waiting. Yeah.
Wow.
To experience even if one child, for that person to know that at least the Lord answered.
Yeah. Wow. So Jackie, your final remarks to, of course, your fans who are watching you today, that used to, hearing you,
On air.
on air. So today they are watching you. Your last remarks, and to everyone that you love.
To those that have worked with me on the different media spaces I have worked, to those that are watching me for the first time, I hope that my story did help you become better, because that's the point. I hope that it can help you help someone.
Yeah.
You maybe know a friend. Every family has a relative or a friend.
Yeah.
Infertility affects almost every family. I think they say out of 10 people, about 4.
Oh.
About 4 are trying to have children. So it could be you, it could be a relative, it could be a friend. Tell them about BAMIIZO. They shouldn't have to cry alone. We're a support group to give them support. But most importantly, if you can do anything good in terms of service, in terms of counseling, come and join us. Those are my final remarks. Thank you so much for watching this show. Thank you, Madreen, for hosting me. I'm really glad, and I'm happy to share my story.
Wow.
I hope it makes a difference in someone's life.
Of course. Thank you so much, Jackie. I think Jackie has really done justice to this chair.
Amen.
She has answered all that we had for her. And thank you so much for coming through. Thank you to our viewers. You can follow our conversations on Civic Space TV on all our social media handles. We are on TikTok, X, and Instagram. We are there, of course, here on YouTube. And subscribe and share our link to all your family members. I know someone out there might, watch and learn something from this story. Thank you to the people on cameras. I've been your host, Madreen. See you next week. Bye.